Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between Clem and Reynor here on Eternal Empire, the Ladder Edition. Top right hand corner, it is the blue Terran player Clem, and in the bottom side, it is the red Zerg player Reynor. Alright, so two very young players, both 18 years old, but still very excellent at StarCraft 2. They are going to give each other all that they can handle here. They're performing very, very well at the current DreamHack. That is the ESL tournament that is going on right now on Twitch. And, oh yeah, hang on a second. This is going to be a Patreon cast. So that tournament should be done by the time you watch this. But if you're a patron of mine, you're going to see it the week of July the 14th. And thank you so much for being a patron of mine at patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for at least $1 a month. Gives you access to stuff like this earlier than I will post it on YouTube 1 month earlier. And that is the facts. 16, 18, 17 here from Reynor. 1 Rax Expand here from Clem. You know, not much variation these days. 2 macro openers anyway. Alright, what are we doing? Well, there's a Reaper on the way, so we have a Reaper name. It is Dizzy Turret Guy. After a 16-hour shift, he was so dizzy, he fell on the ground and broke his helmet for its irresponsible behavior toward equipment. He was disciplinarily rehired as a Reaper. Well, that is one way to mess with somebody, is make them a Reaper, right? Nobody enjoys that experience to any extent whatsoever. So Reaper moving out. Overlord sees it coming. No big deal. Actually didn't. Did you see these go? Oh, that's blind. Clem. Bad Clem. That could have been a 12 pool. You don't know. Third hatch coming in here from Reynor at about, wow, sub 2 minutes. Which tells me that his queen is delayed in the main base. And it is, but the queen in the natural base is the right timing because you need it to deal with this Reaper. Because your lings will not have speed yet by any stretch of the imagination. Factory in production here from Clem. Going for a third CC2, which are, oh, no, never mind, just the natural CC at this point. A third CC would be crazy at this stage, but he is kind of saving up for it a little bit here. Yes, he is doing it. Building it there inside the main base as the Reaper tries to get some kills, but again, against somebody like Reynor, it's just not going to happen. God, these two 8-year-olds matching up against each other, looking good, looking like they know what they're doing. This is high-level pro stuff from very young, very, very young players, which is always such a treat. It is always really, really nice to see the up-and-coming players in the world getting better at the game over and over. Just, it's new generations all the time. You know what I mean? Yeah, it makes me happy. All right, so it looks like a bit of a bio play here from Clem. Maybe a 2-base medevac style attack, which we haven't seen a lot of. But definitely some Hellions to start with into that bio, because your Hellions are quicker to get out. They can move across the map faster and run away from the Zerglings if they have to. Plus, that bonus versus light means they're great against Zerglings and against drones, which is what you want to be killing in the early stages anyway, and that is why your Hellions are the standard opening in this situation. Yep, Hellions just trying to find an angle in which to attack something here. Not really working out for them all that much. Overlord does cut out and see the double barracks with the factory and says, alright, this is again going to be some kind of a bio play here. If it's going to be mech, there would honestly, nice juke with the Hellions though. If it was going to be mech, oh, the juke on this one too, disgustingly good play here. Is Dizzy Turret Guy going to make it out? He's not. There's nowhere for him to go, and ouch! Surround, nicely done by Reynor. Kills 2 of the Hellions. There are 2 remaining though, that's too much. We're going to get on out. Creep spreading out this right side, connecting all the bases. The creep spreading the left side here too. And Hellions getting some work done. 5 kills on one and 6 kills on the other one. So pretty good stuff here from Clem in the early stages of this match. Going double engineering bay here at the natural base, recognizing he needs the upgrades for his bio. And his third command center is already in orbital and is landing now, which actually puts them on, well, I wouldn't say even footing. I'd put them on economically better footing here for the Terran player. As that third base is landed, the mules are getting called down. He's ready to rock. So here's this drop that we're talking about here, right? 5.5 minutes. We got medevacs moving on out. They're not both fully full at this stage because the SCV count for Clem is 50. But he's going to push on out here. It's going to be Lings and Queens trying to deal with this and just unloading on the edge of the creep. This is something we've seen a lot of. Going after your opponent's fourth base when they're trying to be greedy. 64 workers here for Reynor. The Lings getting fully surrounded. They do kill one of the Queens, which is a minor victory. Unloading on the high ground here to heal up and maybe push on into the third base. Just more and more Lings in production, though. Reynor, 12 more Zerglings on the way. Going for that 1-1. For his Zerglings. Trying to unload in the low ground here, but again, just the Lings are everywhere. They're ready to rock all over the place. 6 drones at a time in production here from Reynor now that he has dealt with the intrusion. He's getting a Hydralisk Den. His fourth base is up. Didn't really take any damage at all during that engagement. Great wall of supply depots coming up to third base for Clem. And centrifugal hooks on the way from Reynor. So what are we doing other than Lings and Banelings, Reynor? I guess the Hydras would be the answer. Haven't seen a Hydraling Bane against Terran all that much, especially against Bio. But you know what? We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot here anyway. Marines and tanks, medevacs, Hellions ready to rock. Banelings are coming in. 6 Banelings on the way. They do have the speed upgrade, which again, the Zerglings do too. Speed upgrade's all we've got right now for Reynor. Queens at the front, but they don't want to stand there for too long. There's a single tank for Clem and another one back here that he might move. Oh, wow, he really wants something to pull back to. In this case, this goes really bad. Zergling attack up north. They do pick off a tank. Wow, where did they come in? I don't even know where they came from. Meanwhile, attacking up this way too, Reynor not quite able to get there thanks to the presence of the 2 tanks being a little bit scary. The creep tumors getting massacred a little bit, slowing down the creep, pushing it back a bit. Transfuse on the Queens, pretty good there too. A couple SCVs went down during that attack, but otherwise I think Clem handled that pretty well overall. Yeah, tumors getting pushed back, man. Hellbats showing up. That one transforms into a Hellbat only to get murdered by Queens instantly, which is not ideal. Reynor taking another base during this aggression, which is exactly what you want to be doing, as the base is on the way from Clem too. Drilling Claws on the way from Clem, working on 2-2. A same story down in south here for Reynor with his 2-2 in production. Getting them Hydras, which he's got. Hydra's really good damage output and can hit medevacs, which is an important part of the setup here for the Zerg players. If you're not killing medevacs, you're not going to win against this. Yeah, Zerglings trying to get through. That Great Wall of supply depots in the tank is enough to shut that down. I wonder if the Lings got through before the Great Wall was complete. It looked like it was done. I don't think there was a gap here either. Maybe there is. Oh, Lings and Banes going for the surround. Surprise! Surprise backside Banelings. Oh, big time hits there. Tank is down. Clem in full retreat in this situation. Trying to pull on out, picking up, boosting, and getting on out of there. Creep spread pushing up. More creep still going around that left side. And so far, I gotta say, I feel like Reynor is ahead. He's done a good job keeping his drones alive today. He has not lost a single one, which is massive. He's able to get up to his 5 base economy. Not easily, but really with not many setbacks at all. He's already going for an infestation pit. He's making 14 Banelings at a time right now. And Clem going to land his 4th base here too. He refuses to get left behind economically. And a good Terran player will definitely do their best to not just get out macro to buy the Zerg player. Mules are going to help with that. Expansion timings are going to help with that. And the fact that Terran is very good at defending bases, better at defending bases than attacking bases, allows them to hang on to these bases, and otherwise you think maybe they couldn't. Yeah, man. One good tank shot is just really, really good at shoving away the Zerg here. I love the sensor tower placement here from Clem. It allows him to see everything around this left side area. Yeah, straight up engagement off creep here is not something Reynor wants to deal with. He just doesn't, and he's going to get forced back. More tumors might go down if he doesn't want to engage here. Maybe he does. On creep, again, he feels more comfortable. Zerg players always do, which is why creep spread is a big deal. And that speed bonus is massively, massively important. Banelings rolling into this planetary. They're going to try to Baneling bomb it. Can they take it down? Yes, enough Banelings to take it down. 3 SCVs go down as well. A lot of Lings and Banelings die, but worth it for Reynor to take that base out. He is supply blocked, but at 197 supply, he doesn't care all that much. He is producing additional Overlords, but not a crazy amount here. High ground advantage for Clem here. Reynor does not want to engage there at all, but killing that 4th base was huge. Clem needs to do something now, or he's done. He needs to kill a base. He needs to get a huge victory, or he's out. He's already down a base. Reynor's taking another one on the left side here for his 6th. He's trying to pre-split here a little bit. Pull back, not allow the Banelings to get massive hits, and they don't. Nice tank hit on that group of Banelings. That was really good stuff. Reynor's got a whole bunch of them, and he's got Vipers on the way, too. It's going to be helpful maybe for Abducts or Blinding Cloud on these tanks, because these bios doing pretty good for itself. 2-2 is done on these dudes. They're pretty scary. 3-3 is on the way. Yep, taking out an extractor, full evacuation on this base. I don't think that Reynor is going to be able to save this thing. No, he just fully backs out. And hatch goes down. That's exactly what Clem needed to be back in this game, is to kill a hatchery after losing his 4th. He needs to reestablish it, which he did, and kill one of the many bases that Reynor has going, and maybe take this 5th down at the same time. The Vipers get the Blinding Cloud on the tanks. 3 of the tanks are entirely blinded here. That's so huge. That's massive. But enough bio is remaining that maybe they can engage off creep here and win this thing, but they're so overstimmed that even getting nibbled on by a Zergling is going to kill most of these guys, which is why they are running. They're picking up. 1 Marine died, but everybody pulls back to the safety of the walls. Is your 4th base protected would be my question of the day. The answer is honestly not really. These Marauders trying to get home. No, says Reynor. Not allowed. Reinforcements coming into this 4th base. Try to keep it alive right now. Reynor obviously replacing his 4th. His 5th is fine. It's oversaturated for the moment. He's not actually fully saturated on that Vespene Geyser for some reason. Resources lost here. 15,000 to 11,000. Reynor's lost a bunch, but his income advantage is pretty substantial at the moment. Oh, these small group of 3-3 is just now finishing up here. Baneling hits really don't care about your upgrades all that much, but the damage output is good. The Blinding Cloud catches. No, doesn't catch the Planetary, and I wonder if he thought it did. What a chaotic situation here. But Reynor does get pushed back. The Planetary stays alive. 14 SCVs died, which is a problem, as Reynor's at 92 workers at 13 minutes. And Clem is only at 68. It's a massive advantage here, as we can see the income. That's your income disparity. Against a Zerg player, you're going to have a bad time. 5th base is done for Clem, too, which is fantastic for him. Look at him just marching in here. He knows he has to get something done. I just at least force some units out here. I guess it doesn't really matter, though. Reynor has all the workers he could ever want. Did he burrow? He burrowed. Nice. I didn't realize he had researched burrow. Nicely done. Dorito Glands coming in for the Zerg player. +2 vehicle weapons on the way from Clem, as he really doesn't need to mix in any Thors because his opponent isn't going Mutilisks or Corruptors at all. It's just Ling, Bling, and Zergling, which is why tanks are going to be good, which is why there are Vipers, right? It's paper, rock, scissors here. Tanks beat Hydras, but Vipers beat tanks. And if you have enough Hydras, you can beat tanks too. Ah, big attack from Clem, though. He's everywhere, you guys. You can kill a queen. Nicely done. 11 drones down and a queen killed. And these Zerglings against 3-3 Marines. When the Zerglings are fully upgraded, eventually they get there. Abducts on the medevacs. Trying to pick them off before they can retreat. Does get it. Abduct on the tank, too. Oh, that shows brutal. That is just a brutal engagement there for Clem. Clem's down 86 to 62 army supply. The high rich base Bing Geyser there for Clem's going to help a bit. But +3 vehicle weapons now coming in from the Terran player, replacing his drones as Reynor. Really wants to be up at that 90 level or so. Lurker Den on the way from Reynor, which we haven't seen a lot of versus Terran if they're not meching. And this is not a mech play out of Clem. He is bioing it the whole way. with some tank support, right? But it's Marauders and Marines and Medevacs, man. No Widow Mines, which I do find odd. I feel like Widow Mines are really good versus this composition. Man, Reynor just marching in here. No attack upgrades on his Hydras. He's working on +1 now at 15 minutes. Oh, the Baneling's getting the hits off, though. And again, just little patch of creep. Giving Reynor the confidence to do what he needs to do here. Yeah, for a minute there, Clem had a... I mean, it was breaking even on income, right? But now it's back into Rainer's court. He's replaced his bases. He's replaced his drones. He's just such a macro god right now. It's going to be really hard to deal with him. He is making 9 lurkers, though. And here they all are, which I think Clem is going to scout. Right? He gets in there. I think he got in there, and he sees the lurkers. He knows they exist. How does he deal with them is going to be the question here. Well, not by walking into the spines would be my recommendation. Abducting a tank and ruining it that way is pretty good stuff. Consume on this hatchery. No Vikings to try to deal with the Vipers at all either. This is no Widow Mines, no Vikings, just Marine Marauder tank, man, with some medevac help. Top left base by Clem is taken. I don't know. Clem's economy looking a little bit better here, although it's still very red on the income advantage screen, which we only get, again, on games that are played with the game hard interface. Yeah, there's the Blinding Cloud, there are the Banelings, the Lurkers burrow right on in on top of the tanks and murder them instantly with their bonus damage versus armored. We don't see a lot of Lurker play, man, but today, you know what? It's working out for Reynor. Banelings! 10 more SCVs going down. The tanks are firing, but they're outnumbered 10-1. That's never going to work out for you. Lurkers outranging the Planetary. I don't think they have a range upgrade yet, but I don't think it really matters. He just killed 10 SCVs with his Lurkers. He's got adaptive talons, that's for sure. That was a quick burrow. Liberators in the mix to deal with the Lurkers. Okay, so we are mixing in something different here. Ooh, did kill a Lurker egg. It's a pretty nice victory there. Steady targeting with ghosts. Weakening up, softening up those Lurkers there, engaging. They burrow so quickly, and then the poor tanks get abducted into the Lurker Spine garden here. That Planetary is dead. I don't know if there's any saving it here. 106 to 84 army supply. Ghosts gonna try to steady target against these Lurkers and do what they can. Planetary Fortress down. Steady targeting on a couple of these Lurkers, murdering them as well. How many Lurkers have died today? 7? That's way more than I thought had died. 7's a lot. If you're going to get Lurkers, Zerg players, get the upgrades. Get the 2 upgrades you get at the Infestation Pit when the Hive is done. Top left base is dead. I mean, that's it, man. I think that is slamming the door shut on Clem's chances of winning this game, is losing those 2 bases. He still has this 1 mining base, and this one kind of too, but it's just too much Zerg, man. Reynor's expanding on the other side of the map. Zerglings jumping on top of all of this bio. There's just not a way. Yeah, 98 to 44 army supply, and that's your good game. Reynor is your winner in 18.5 minutes. Woof. That was an intense non-stop game. Who is still here that they're doing music? Wardy was still here. Great. Wow. Yeah, man. Intense game there. End of the day. But when your income tab looks like this versus a Zerg player, you're just not going to win. You're not. Even if you have an advantage in army supply, or rather in income, right, against a Zerg player, you're still not guaranteed to win. It's just you need a big advantage is what you need. And when only 20 drones die in the entire game, most of those later, it's not going to work out. Resources lost here, 36,000 for Clem, 38,000 for Reynor. Again, that's your advantage if you're Clem, but you need a bigger one if you're going to win this thing. I loved the Ghost attempt with the steady targeting versus those Lurkers. The range they have, the bonus they do is going to be good. The Liberators were a decent idea too, but the Vipers were just the answer to everything. Blinding Cloud and Abducts were constant in this game. Reynor knowing how to use those spellcasters to beat a Terran player who's really going, again, a standard composition. This was Reynor kind of like, I'm going to do Stuff you don't usually see in this game and still win anyway. And he did. So 3 planetaries died. Only 1 hatchery went down. That's not a good number either. And at the end of the day, Reynor just kind of beaten up on Clem here, which I don't know is necessarily always the case. Right? I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens in the DreamHack Summer for ESL, because Clem is looking really good thus far. As of the recording of this, the 10th of July, Clem had only dropped like 2 maps and was on his way to the winner's circle there. So we'll see if he can do it. He still will have to beat Cyril probably to do it. Maybe have to go through Reynor too, which is not, again, a good experience. But Clem is looking better in July than in this particular tournament, which is Katowice of earlier this year. So good stuff by Reynor, just not allowing the Terran player to really feel comfortable, holding off every attack that Clem threw his way, and getting the win. So again, unorthodox strategy, but nice. All right, so that is gonna be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void and a Patreon cast. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.